Hello and welcome to Spoken Like a Native podcast. My name is Diane. I'm an English teacher from Scotland and a devoted language learner, and this podcast is for those learning English to improve their listening and vocabulary, with episodes on engaging topics like culture, current events, history, and how languages work. If you want to improve your speaking and listening, head over to speakmeters.com, where you can take part in small group conversations hosted by native speakers. This is an amazing way to boost your fluency, expand your vocabulary, and increase your confidence by practicing with qualified, certified, and selected native speakers who really enjoy helping people. There are sessions at a range of levels for English, French, Spanish, and German, so book your first session today. Speakmeters.com. And don't forget, you can take part in this podcast by telling me your ideas for topics. Information about how to get in touch with us is in the description. Enough beating around the bush, let's get this episode underway. Hey, welcome to episode 13. This is the second part of my conversation with Erin, who's my cousin from Northern Ireland. If you haven't heard the first part, I would say go back and listen to it. We're just having a chat about pets and animals. Erin works in a veterinary surgery. She also has 2 dogs and 3 cats. And I also have a dog and 4 cats and a lot of chickens and a turkey. So we talk in general about animals, animal care. And we talk about what animals we would like to have maybe in an ideal situation. As I always say, if you have any ideas for future topics, any requests, please don't hesitate to get in touch. There'll be an email address in the episode notes. And if you are improving your English and you would like to be interviewed for the podcast, then don't hesitate to get in touch, because I would be more than happy to do that, to have a conversation with you, interview you, and give you some on-the-spot corrections. For context, maybe you know, maybe you don't, I am an English teacher and I have quite a lot of experience. And I'm also a host at Speak Meters, which is a platform where you can practice your speaking of English, French, German, and Spanish. There are lots of different types of sessions, ones which are just a general chat, ones which are more like a language workshop with grammar. Sometimes there's games. So each host has their own style. If you'd like to practice your language skills, or you would like to become a host, or both, then don't hesitate to follow the links in the description. What would be your dream, if you could have any pet in the world, what would be your dream pet?
Any pet in the world? I actually would love if I had a big enough garden to kind of like have a pond with a kind of like koi carp and everything. That is what I would like the most. Obviously, always having my dog. I like boxers. Boxers are my favourite breed. So yeah, as long as I have one of those, and I would love a pond with some cool koi carp is what I would love.
Okay. Why do you like the koi carp so much?
Just really like fish. I just think they're really interesting, and they're really, I suppose again they don't do very much, but they're beautiful. I just think they're beautiful, and
they're nice to watch.
Yeah, it can be quite a calming effect and things. But I suppose if you have a tank or something in the house, like a nice big tank, and then you kind of get all like the multicolored ones and things like that. I just really like them. Really like them.
I like those axolotls with the little frills on their heads.
Beautiful.
They're so cute.
So
but I've never had fish.
I've always had just the average, like goldfish. I had tropical fish for a wee while, and I absolutely loved them. But again, I would like a pond rather, because I still felt bad when they were in the tank, unless you can have a massive one.
Well, probably are tropical fish, are they kind of difficult to get the temperature and the balance of in the water right, or is it?
Yeah, tropical fish are a little bit harder to look after. Again, yeah, just exactly as you said, just because of the temperature and stuff. You just have to make sure you're getting that right and have lots of plants and stuff in the tank for them. So yeah, they are a little bit more difficult than just the wee average goldfish.
Yeah, I think they look cute, but I never particularly wanted to have them. But I do think the fish in a pond are really nice to look at. If ever I see them, I was taking loads of pictures of them.
Yeah, going over and having a
With
wee nosy to see. I do. I
Yeah,
really like it. I think that would be.
because they're really big.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what I think I would like. As long as I say my wee boxers by my side, I would be happy.
So, what's the best thing about a boxer?
I just love their dopey personality. I absolutely love it. I suppose they are quite silly dogs. Ours definitely is, and but they're very loyal. You know, he's very very loving. As soon as you sit down on the couch, he's right up beside you, and I mean nearly on your lap. There's kind of no space between. He just doesn't understand that. He just loves being with you.
Yeah.
And their cute little face. I just absolutely love them. I love the way they look, and I just love their dopiness, really.
Yeah, my husband, when he was younger, they had a boxer. That's the only dog he's ever had before, our dog. But I never met him.
Yeah.
But I have never had a boxer. Are they quite obedient, or are they naughty?
Well, no, I would say they're probably more on the naughtier side, just because they are quite silly. They don't tend to always do what they're told. So,
Yeah.
and they are a bit crazy as well. They are headers, absolutely. They're a bit mad. But I don't know, I love all that bit about them.
Yeah. It's like our dog's half Dalmatian, and Dalmatians are like they're really intelligent, but they take a long time for you to train them to do something, because the first 300 times it's like, why do I have to do it? Or why do I not have to do this thing? And even now, it's like sometimes he just decides, no, we're going out, but I want to like play a little game before we go out.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to have the lead put on, so he'll just start jumping around
and going a bit crazy before he finally gives in to do so.
Yeah. So he definitely got. I like that kind of independent intelligence about them. They're really silly.
Yeah.
He's also like really really friendly as well. He's very affectionate, and if you let him, he'll sleep in the bed with you, and he'll be on the couch next to you, on top of you, licking your face and stuff. So
yeah, I love that. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think affectionate dogs and affectionate breeds, they are the best, because you get the most. You get very attached to your animals. Absolutely, especially if your dog is so affectionate towards you. You get extremely attached. Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's great as well because he likes exercising. He needs a lot of exercise, and I like walking. I like running, and I run with him as well sometimes.
Amazing,
and so it's great for both of us because it's makes my running a bit more interesting.
Yeah,
and he gets to release a lot of energy.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant, and at least he is quite a dog that does need exercise so much. It's nice that you can take him with you, and as you say, it makes your run a bit more fun, I suppose, because you've got the company of him as well.
Yeah, you kind of, it keeps you in the moment. It's like if you're running with a friend or something, you're not just, sometimes you can just go off into your own thoughts and sort of lose track of what's going on and get in your own mind a bit too much. But when you've got the dog, you have to like make sure he's around and he's not doing anything. So it's fun.
Would he run? Would you keep him on the lead as you're doing that, or would he run beside you just right by your heels?
So I keep him on the lead until we get somewhere a bit more in the country.
Yeah.
And then once I feel like it's there's not any traffic, or there's not hardly any people around, I'll let him off, and he's good now. He used to be less reliable in terms of running away and not coming back for ages. But he's better when you're running than when you're just going for a walk because of the pace. So you're jogging along as well. So he's kind of more motivated to sort of stay near you because you're going at quite a good pace. Whereas if you're walking slowly, he might run off. Like, oh, well, she won't notice if I'm, if I go over 3 fields and try and find a female or something. But yeah, so it's quite good to have him, to be running with him, and he's better. So he'll go ahead, then he'll go behind. He does sort of like he slows down and then he does a really long sprint and then he slows down a bit, and I'm sort of going along the same speed the whole time.
No.
But yeah, once we're on the road or we're in a village or something, I'll put him back on the lead.
Yeah, just in case he would go for a wee dander off on his own.
Yeah, he has done that a few times.
Yeah.
Not, touch wood, it's not happened recently, but yes, it can happen because he's not being castrated, and he's coming into that age where he's interested,
going to look for a girlfriend. Yeah.
Are your dogs both males?
So no, the Staffy is a girl, and then the Boxer is a boy. But I do have them both neutered now. So, but they actually get on very well. They're very, very attached to each other. Obviously the Boxer, he is now about 9, and the wee Staffy, she's only 1. So she kind of keeps the Boxer young. She drives him mad. They play all day long. So really, from we got her, he's had a new lease of life for sure.
Yeah. And how long do Boxers usually live?
So they kind of usually, if we kind of got them to 10 or 11, so we'd be quite lucky, because they do have they can have quite a lot of problems with their hearts. But touch wood, he is in good health. So, but yeah, a lot of the time Boxers can have a lot of problems with their heart, just with the breed, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's the downside of making all these different breeds, is the problems that they get.
Yeah, a lot of full breeds do carry all different sort of problems. A lot of them anyway. Which is a shame. I think a lot of the time you are better going for kind of like a crossbreed, because obviously then it kind of lessens the chance and kind of breeds it out again.
Have you noticed? So, if you've been working in the vet surgery for 10 years, have you noticed any trends? What's changing in the types of pets and the types of problems and things?
So, I suppose it changes quite a lot. When I first started, pugs were a big breed. A lot of people had pugs. Then it sort of moved to French bulldogs. They are still quite a popular breed for sure. So they all have their own problems. They're what you call kind of like a brachycephalic breed, which is where their little noses are really short to the face. So obviously that then brings breathing issues and things like that. But it's kind of, once the trend gets going, everybody wants one. It definitely does happen. And at the moment, XL bullies are a big breed. We see a lot of them, which kind of
XL bullies.
Yeah. So it's kind of like they're not really like bulldogs, but they are, but they're just really big. They're a nice dog. We see them quite a lot, and they are lovely, but they're humongous and very strong.
So they're like kind of a bit. Oh yeah, they looks very muscular. I'm just looking at some photos. Yeah, I think I've seen them before. Yeah, it's funny that the trend for these kind of dogs are all sort of quite short faced. Ones like the pug and the French bulldog and the bully as well. Like, it's different from, like, I don't know, the opposite extreme would be like a greyhound or something with a long
lurcher. We see a lot of labs too, I suppose. A lot of people love their labs, and a lot of people love their springers. Their Springer Spaniels. So
I think Labradors are always popular. Yeah. They're like very classic, and they're quite reliable, and they're sort of not too disobedient and they're quite friendly and stuff.
They are. They'll probably, as I say, they'll always be popular. And I suppose quite a lot of people like Springers for the working side of it too. They're good working dogs as well. So yeah, but the trends kind of change. People just jump from one to the other, and then I suppose then people kind of get into like breeding those while they're popular. So You know, you'll see a lot of movies a lot of the times because they are such sort of a squishy kind of large head dog. We do then a lot of
Mm.
Siberians
Mm-hmm.
um
Ah.
on them, so it leads to that. But yeah, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, around here where I live, it's a small town in the countryside in Spain. As I said, there's breeds that you don't really see in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like the Spanish Mastiff.
Lovely.
I don't know if you've seen them. They're like massive
Really,
dog,
really
really,
big.
really huge. Yeah, but they're very friendly. They're very loyal. They're like a guard dog. It's like a
Okay.
kind of sheepdog type thing. But they're very nice. They look a little bit like a Saint Bernard in the face shape,
Mm-hmm.
in a way, but they're really tall and really massive when they're adults.
Yeah,
So you see them, they can be a bit quite intimidating at first
absolutely. I'm
when you
sure
see
just
them.
because they're so large.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of border collies, obviously, like countryside
Mm-hmm.
dogs and German shepherds, or something that's similar. That's maybe a cross, German shepherds crossed with something else.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of them. There's some really cute ones around where I go for a walk with Alfie. They've just kind of been left out to sort of fend for themselves. I think
Okay.
there's a guy that owns them. I don't know if they're brother and sister, or but they're always together. And
Oh.
the female is pregnant now,
Okay.
and yeah, I don't know. Like if the I saw some people yesterday who, and we were talking and said, "Oh, we leave food. We come and bring food for these dogs because they don't seem to be looked after." I said, "Oh, I do the same thing."
No.
So I don't know if like they just sort of the owner comes and goes, and maybe once every couple of days will, let the female, because the female's tied up.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and I don't know if that's because she got pregnant.
Yeah. She went out and yeah got herself pregnant. Bless her.
Yeah. So they're always there in the same place, and they're so happy to see me. And I
No.
bring them treats and I cuddle them. And she's getting bigger and bigger, and I'm thinking, what's going to happen? Like,
Yeah.
these puppies, when she has her puppies and she's on her own, it's kind of sad. But
Oh.
you never know. The owner could be looking after them when you're not there. But
Yeah.
it often seems like there's no food or water. But
Oh, bless.
it's like countryside thing. You sort of, you feel it's a bit hard to say to someone, "Oh, you're not looking after your dog properly."
Yeah. Yeah. It can be
Mm.
very awkward. It's quite a difficult thing. But then yeah, you kind of feel bad, especially if she is pregnant as well. You know, she probably will end up having those pups right and soon, and she's just going to have them
Yeah,
outside while she's tied up. It's
yeah,
quite difficult.
it's sad. Yeah, well, I at least I see them at least once a day, so I'll keep on checking up.
Yeah.
I'll know what happens.
No.
I suppose, yeah, and the other thing as well is in Spain there's a lot of stray
Yes.
cats with no home,
Oh.
and people will leave out food, but I think there's some awareness now that the population is expanding,
Yeah.
and they're kind of, if they don't get sterilized and people leave food out on the street, the population will keep on
Going. Yeah.
growing. Yeah.
Because I know some of the vets and stuff, whenever they had qualified and they were still, well, they weren't long out of uni, a lot of them
Mm.
did like kind of like a neutering scheme, and it was going to all different countries and
Mm-hmm.
trying to trap them, neuter them, release them, because cats, they breed so quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and it is really difficult. There's even, we have a charity here, and that's really what she does every day. She just traps cats, and especially sort of feral colonies and things like that, and just tries their very best just to catch them, and neuter them and let them back out, because it is very difficult. There's so many kittens, and it's a shame, really, because there's just too many.
Yeah. Yeah, they always, yeah, that our third kitten that we have up on the land, that the reason we've got it is because I was walking with Alfie, and there was just in the middle of the path, out of nowhere, there was just tiny kitten there.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, what a shame. And I picked it up, but there was no other cats at all. It was really weird, like, because I walk there a lot and I've never seen a cat there, and it's like a calico.
Okay.
And so I'd never seen a calico cat. So I picked it up and it was absolutely crawling with fleas.
No.
And just crying and quite dirty, like I don't know if it was like mud on it or something. And so I took her to the land, and she seems to have settled in with her brothers. We put on all the kind of anti-parasite thingies and tried to wash her and stuff. But yeah, it's a shame. Like I think so. Obviously, that happens if they reproduce. Some of them will survive, and the other ones will just get probably get eaten by something, or they'll just starve to death.
Or if there's nobody really, I suppose, there to feed them, and then they are, as you say, in the countryside or somewhere kind of alone, then yeah, unfortunately that's what happens.
Yeah, so it just seems like a shame, a sort of waste of life. So
I know, and then especially when you come across a wee cute fluffy kitten, it's very hard to, you couldn't just leave that in there. Of course, you want to pick it up and take it home. They're very cute and they are tiny. That's how I ended up with our 2 normal cats. As I say, it was 2 tiny little kittens that come into work, and
right.
I took them home.
So what color are they?
So Fergie is all white, and Eddie, he is all grey.
Oh, cute.
So yeah, they're lovely. They were really, really beautiful kittens. Really, just 2 wee fluff balls. So they just get you.
How old are they now?
So Fergie is coming 7, and Eddie will be 9. So yeah, they're a bit older now. Yeah. But cats live a lot of the time. We do see cats that are 20, 21. So
wow,
they do live a lot longer than dogs.
Yeah, and it's a commitment. You get a tiny little kitten, oh, it's so cute, and then you're like, wow, 15, 20 years.
Yep.
We better get on. Get used to each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you'll get them for that long. But cats generally, they're very good. They're not as sicky as dogs. I suppose they're quite a hardy animal.
Yeah, I think there's when I first got because I hadn't had a cat for a long time. When we first got the kitten, because we got 1 at home and then we got 3 on the land, and she's not quite a year yet. I think she was almost a year old, maybe 10 or 11 months. And at first it was just a constant. As I picked her up, she was just purring constantly, and she wouldn't stop purring. And then we had a little bed for her, and I went to bed on the first night, and she was in the bed, and then it was just constant crying. And she came into bed with me, and then that was it. For a few months, it was like she was always. I got into bed and she would crawl underneath the covers. And now she's a bit more like, sometimes she'll be on top of the bed, sometimes she'll be in a different room, so she's a bit more independent now.
No,
but what I like about it is like you kind of slowly develop this relationship with them, and it's not as obvious as with a dog where they're like licking you or jumping up at you, but you notice that they do appreciate you, and you have a relationship.
Absolutely. And they just take a little bit longer to crack than a dog, I suppose.
Yeah,
kind of a little bit more sass about them. Absolutely.
Yeah,
especially if they're female. I think male cats come maybe round a little bit quicker, but some wee female cats can be definitely quite sassy. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've got to send you all the pictures of all my pets.
And the big turkey, I would like to see them. Show me all of them.
Yeah,
I would like that.
He's called Winston.
I love
Winston the turkey. And one of the cockerels is called Nigel.
Oh,
he was the one that's really he's like the big boss. He's quite aggressive, dominant. And even though he's tiny, and then there's the non-aggressive cockerel, who's all black. He's really beautiful, big black one, and he's called Bronson.
I love that. I love orange.
He tried to escape, and all the chickens have got names as well, the females, but because I find it hard to distinguish because there's 2 grey ones, 2 brown ones. There's a tiny little the partner of the fighting cock, the English one. She's quite small, so we know I can recognize her. She's called Camilla.
Oh,
but the other ones, we gave them names, but they're kind of like one of them could be anything.
You just call them by it.
Yeah, Audrey, Beatrice, I think.
Oh, I love that. It's brilliant. Oh, but no, that's nice. I like when you give them all wee names because they're kind of part of your family, even if they are just wee chickens and things. I love that.
Thanks for listening. What do you think about today's topic? Remember, you can get in touch by leaving a comment or by joining the Speak Meters community. Follow Speak Meters on Instagram and subscribe to Spoken Like a Native on your favourite podcast platform. You can also leave a comment and like the stream. Please, please, please leave a review. It really helps us to find new listeners who are looking for fun language learning content. And lastly, don't forget to head over to speakmeters.com to take part in live conversations hosted by friendly native speakers. That's all for today. Catch you next time. Bye!